there is no secret that the relationship between Poland and Ukraine is a strange one. Historically speaking, the Ukrainian insurgent army whilst working with the Nazis was responsible for the deaths of at least 40,000 Polish civilians in Volhynia, and in March 1944, another 10,000 deaths in Galicia. Understandably, the Polish haven't forgotten, but when Russia attacked Ukraine in February 2022, they were the first to support the beleaguered defenders in the battle of their lives. Despite the history between the two, Poland could easily see that Russia posed the biggest threat to its country's future. The ability to blunt their offensive capabilities in Ukraine was almost too good to be true. Whilst this was happening and before, Poland has also been undergoing a massive military upgrade, arguably far above its ability to pay and maintain. In fact, some of their orders and plans was turning heads and making it clear that Poland would not be messed with. Their militarization would thrust them into a regional superpower, but it wasn't ready, so supporting Ukraine was a cheap and easy solution to keep their biggest enemy busy and hopefully deplete the Russian offensive capability in the process. They have continued to support Ukraine ever since, until the Polish elections got nearer, and the issue of Ukrainian grain took center stage and promptly kicked the relationship out of bounds. The timing of the Polish objections was poor given the state of the Ukrainian offensive and the need for all supporters to double down on, not cease their support. Unfortunately, the grain disagreement came across as an effort to control Ukraine with its donations. A case of do as we say or else, you owe us. Ukraine is not a nation that likes to be blackmailed, so the support halted. At the time, Mr. Zelensky said it was alarming how some of Ukraine's friends in Europe were playing out solidarity in a political theater, making a thriller from grain. The lack of further support has been made worse by the current drama at the border, where all forms of supply flowing into Ukraine has been stopped by Polish truckers. This has been a massive hindrance to Ukraine and even cost 3 Ukrainian truckers their lives. The Polish protesters argue that their livelihoods are at stake after the European Union relaxed some transport rules and Ukrainian truckers have undercut their businesses. The Polish government could have acted to end this strike, but they didn't, implying that the support was only strong when it suited Poland and not when needed. The situation has come at a time when the American Congress has stopped support, and Hungary seems intent on destroying the EU and any help that comes from it. This has been a horrible time for Ukraine in their most dire time of need and shows just how their plight has become a political game for their erstwhile allies and nothing more. Then, just when things looked completely in the toilet, the right-wing Law and Justice Party lost the government in the 2023 elections and Donald Tusk was re-elected as Prime Minister for the third time, and in doing brought in a more centrist government. He has unequivocally voiced his support for Ukraine and called on the West to do more. This sounds great and hopefully should restart the support from Poland and give the Ukrainian people a much-needed positive boost. However, if I am to be the devil's advocate, there have also been strong suspicions that Poland could cancel some of its orders for new military equipment. This will undoubtedly reduce their own ability to withstand aggression, as well as their standing in Europe, where their ability to project force will be less than it could have been. The big Polish stick was always going to be a warning to Putin that if he somehow managed to get past the Ukrainians, Poland would be waiting to stop him going any further. Now, given the significant losses experienced by Russia, it's unlikely they will be attacking anything else, ever again. But damn, it would have been nice to know that Poland was serious and waiting. Could you imagine 1,000 K5 Black Panther main battle tanks holding the line against Russian flimsy T-62-led aggression? But that's unlikely to materialize now. So yeah, Poland is undoubtedly going to keep supporting Ukraine, but how? And what happens if it's not enough? Does Ukraine really need more virtue signaling from Western countries looking to say the right things without ever doing enough to really see them over the line? Do they need aid that is promised and never delivered, like the EU package just vetoed by Hungary? With Donald Tusk in charge, someone who led the EU, I expect he will fall into line with the EU and their approach to Ukraine. What that also means is that it will undoubtedly be hamstrung by Hungary and other pro-Putin players hell-bent on seeing Ukraine occupied by Russia. This also means that Poland can continue to scream support for Ukraine without having been forced to truly get involved. Time will tell, but there's a big concern that mighty Poland may turn into another bureaucratic pussy. What do you think?